Oh, that's good. Hello and happy 2024. It has been a minute to chat a little bit about what I am excited about making this year, both on this channel and a little challenge that I'm going to be partaking in. I have a fresh cup of tea to warm my hands because it is another snow day here in the mountains, and yeah, let's just chat a little bit about it. I taught myself how to crochet last year, and that kind of took up a lot of my making time, and I just want to lean more into making things. You've seen that I've done a few sewing, upcycling, that kind of thing on this channel, and I want to continue to do more of that. That's what excites me, and yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about my plans for this year because I am taking on a no new clothes year. What exactly does this mean? I have set 5 rules for myself. One is that making is preferred, but thrifting is a last resort. I am still allowed to go to the thrift store and buy clothes, but if I can make it, then I'm going to make it. This is really to make sure that I'm making that I'm adding items of clothing that I really want and really need to my closet and not just going to the thrift store and browsing and taking whatever I want. Next rule is for fabric, and it's that I must use 50% of my stash before buying new. So this will go for fabric and for yarn for crochet. Yeah, basically I have a lot of fabric stash over here, yarn over there, and I just want to use up at least half of what I have before I acquire new supplies. The next rule is that gifts are okay, but I can't ask for anything specific. So I can't tell my boyfriend that I really want this pair of Lucy and Yak overalls and that's what I want for my birthday or that's what I want for Christmas, because that is cheating, I feel like. Fourth rule is that this includes all articles of clothing. So I'm going to see if I can last the year without buying any new undergarments and socks and tights because I have so many of each of those. I just did a new purchase right before the new year of, undergarments and that stuff. So I don't feel like I'm hurting. If it gets to the end of the year and I'm hurting for those items, then we'll reassess. But for now, I want to see if I can make do with what I have. The last rule is that I don't want to spend more than $25 on patterns for the whole year. So I do already have some patterns that I've bought, and I will be using those this year. And if I want to buy any more patterns, whether it be crochet or sewing, then I can't spend more than $25. Now, why am I doing this? I was inspired by Lena Norms. She is another creator over here on YouTube, and she makes a lot of sustainability fashion, recyclable fashion content, and she is doing this project this year too. I've been wanting to sew more, and I feel like I am not going to motivate myself unless I have either clear rules or it's my only option. I can't go out and buy anything. And I think that this will also help me get rid of my stash, really identify what I want in my wardrobe and what I'm actually going to wear, as well as making sure that I'm wearing all the pieces in my wardrobe and not just accumulating things without wearing them. Okay, so I wanted to talk about some projects that I am excited to make this year. First up, I have this little bingo board that I made. Lena also made a bingo board for herself, and so I took inspiration from that, but I changed out some of the categories. These are more of sewing or crochet goals, making goals for things that I would like to make or challenges that I think would be fun to take on, and so that's what this bingo board is for. First up, we have shirring. Shirring is when when it makes the material stretchy. You sew basically with elastic thread, and it makes those kind of like collapsible, stretchy garments. And so I've never done that before. The next one is a bag or accessory. I've never made an accessory, either like a hat or a bag or something like that. I'd like to make a birthday outfit. My birthday is in May, and I think it would be fun to make a outfit for my birthday. Lena also put this on hers, so I thought it was a fun idea. The next one is something for Mustache. That is my boyfriend. He has asked me to make him or sew him several garments, and I haven't yet. Sewing for your own body is one thing, but sewing for someone else's body seems more challenging, and I really want to tackle that and make him a garment this year. The next circle is to recreate an item from Instagram or Pinterest. It doesn't necessarily have to be designer or fancy or something like that, but I want to see if I can try and replicate a garment just from looking at it or drafting a version that is similar to that. Next one is sheer fabric. This is something I've never worked with before, and one of the things I keep having to stop myself from buying is sheer long sleeves, like a turtleneck or just like a mock neck long sleeve. I think that those are fun, and so I want to see if I can thrift some sheer fabric. If not thrift, then maybe I will do a very small purchase of some fabric, but I do want to see if I can sew a sheer item. Next one is that I have not tackled zippers yet. I don't have a zipper foot on my sewing machine, and so I have just ignored zippers completely. But this year I'd really like to learn and then get good at putting zippers in my garments. Next one is blanket garment. This one I think we've seen all over the upcycling and thrift flip world, that you can turn a blanket into a coat or a long coat or a jacket or a vest or something. And so that is a goal of mine this year, is to get a blanket from the thrift store and make something from it. And then the last goal is to make something with a fancy collar. I've never really made anything with a fancy collar, and I'd really love to make like a big fancy collar on a garment. So those are kind of vague goals, but I'd like to show you some things to kind of help put these in a more visual sense. One other thing about this no new clothes year is that I also want to make the clothes that I already own things that I want to keep wearing and am in love with. So that includes mending and upcycling items I already own. So let's start with items I need to mend. Up first, we have this dress that I thrifted last year. It's quite a shapeless garment, but I think it would be really fun for layering, but it has a rip. Where is the rip? There's a rip in this, and I need to sew it, preferably before summer so that I can wear this. The next thing is a pair of jeans. For a long time, I thought I was going to get rid of these, and so I guess that's why I waited and have not mended them yet, is because I've not been sure if I want to donate them or not. They do still fit, they just fit a little bit different than how I normally like my jeans to fit, but I do need to repair them because, as you can see, there is a hole where the belt loop is. I think that this will be a pretty easy fix, and I don't know why I haven't done it yet, but yeah, these will at least need to get repaired before I do anything else with them. And then the last piece is not so much as a mending item as an item I have not finished yet. I worked on this fleece last year, and I got pretty far. It's basically done, except it doesn't have buttons and buttonholes. And my sewing machine, I don't have a buttonhole foot, and so I need to do these by hand, and I've just been putting it off because I don't want to sit and sew buttonholes by hand. But this is a really cozy garment. I tried it on. I like the way it fits. I just need to add some buttons. The other category I have is items that I want to upcycle. And so for that, first up, I have this white t-shirt that I have loved and worn. It does have some pit stains, and I just don't find myself pulling for it as much, and so I want to dye it brown. I think having a brown t-shirt could be a nice addition to my wardrobe, and I think I would reach for it a lot more, and it's a really soft material. I've worn it for a really long time, but I think that it could use a new life. Next up is another old-time favorite, is this denim jacket that I've had for a really long time. And I want to do some embroidery. I think that I have another denim jacket that is the same wash as this, but it has the shearling collar and it's more, it's insulated, and so I want to make this distinct and more fun. And so I can have like my warm season jacket that is like cozy and has a certain vibe, and then this one has a different vibe. So I want to do some like little embroidery, either some like plants or stars or fish or something, just to make this jacket have a second life. And then the last thing, and I can't seem to find the item that's going to go on this, but it is this hat. Last year I purchased a patch with a quail on it from the Bird Collective, and I want to sew that patch onto this hat. This hat has nothing wrong with it. It has a cool contrasting band at the back that's kind of like a pleather and metal buckle, and this nice kind of like slate green color, but I don't wear it because from the front it's pretty boring. From the front it's pretty boring, and I would like to have something on it, and I have this patch, and so I'd like to sew the patch on it. 2 more categories to go of projects I want to work on. Items I'm going to sew. So these are projects I already have the pattern for, the fabric for. I just need to sit down and do it. And so first up, we have the pansy dress from Rosary Apparel. I have the pattern for this. I've printed it out. I have not taped it together yet or cut it out, but I have the fabric I'd like to use for it. And this is a window pane terracotta kind of flannel. So this is going to be I'm going to do the longer sleeve version of this dress. Long sleeve, but short length, like mid thigh. And I think this will be a good fall dress. Next item is the Emma corset, which I have the pattern for as well. And I am going to be using this fabric. Kind of antique-y looking. It's got reds and blues and yellows and some paisley kind of, but I also already have the side materials for this. I have the boning and I have the grommets, and I just have not sat down to do this yet. And then the last item is a skirt. This is the Kiana Bonoyo pattern for her midi skirt. It's the bias cut, and this is a silky orangey bedsheet that I thrifted, and I am gonna make the skirt out of that. Because I already have the pattern, I just need to sit down and do it. There are other projects that I'm going to work on this year that I also already have the fabric for, or in some cases I have the fabric but I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet, and so that will take some more time. The last projects are my crochet projects. First up we have this cotton merino yarn in like this reddish orange with kind of it's kind of heathered. I'm going to make the Amelie sweater pattern with this. That'll be more of like a light spring sweater. Then I have this yarn, and I'll be making a beanie for my boyfriend out of this. It's this really chunky wool yarn, Peruvian wool yarn, and it's this really dark eggplant, almost black, almost brown color. And then lastly, I'm going to be making a crochet top out of this yarn, but I don't know what pattern yet. And this is wool, and there's a couple different, these are all the same dye lot, but they are kind of variations of the same color. And I think that these will make a nice crochet summer top. Those are all the items I'm planning on making this year. You can follow this YouTube channel to stay tuned to the process and see if I get through it. I am also an artist, and you can follow my art on Instagram at The Cozy Artist. I recently released these free printable postcard designs for Palestine, and yeah, basically it's a digital download. You can print it on cardstock, you can color it, and then on the back side you put a stamp and the mailing address for your representative or the White House. Send your message asking for a ceasefire. So I will link that in the description box below. Yeah, let me know what you're planning to make this year, if you think that this is a cool idea of buying nothing new this year, or if it seems crazy, let me know. I can't wait to hear from you and chat in the comments. All right, have a good day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.